Market update here on the 17th. I am doing this video at about 1 o'clock in the morning US time. Still over in Asia though, so it's mid-afternoon here. So we got a huge day down on QQQ and on SPY. SPY was down 1.55, QQQ 1.71. And so what is this? There are two possibilities in my opinion. I've ruled out this right here. This is ruled out in my opinion. That's ruled out. The reason why that's ruled out is because this was 5 waves. This would be wave 1. If you do 5 waves here, it's going to take you way beyond this demand zone. I think that it's very unlikely this goes a little bit past it at 362, but to get 5 waves to come down here is very unlikely, so I ruled that one out pretty much. So now there's only 2 possibilities. The first possibility, which is the least likely, is that this is actually a expanded flat down here. And the reason why it's not likely is because we are in no man's land. And so I would actually expect it to go lower because we have this resistance right here. And for this to go higher from here, it would have to be a flat. Whoops. If it's a flat, then we'd be looking at just something like this. So it would just come back up here into resistance again, and then it would be a short again. So I would say that one is unlikely, but it is possible. And the reason that it's possible is because we have another gap right here. There's another gap right here. Created another gap, and so I'm not going to rule it out. It would take us to $378 again. Right now, where it stands, I'll go over this wave here in more detail in a second. So I think it's unlikely, but it is possible. The more likely move, just based on looking at all the charts, is that we are finished here. This is wave 1, this is wave 2, and we're starting wave 3. And wave 3, this is only wave 1 of 3. So, if that's the most likely, we can zoom in here a little bit and just see this might not be finished as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And the reason that 5 would be way down here is because this looks like it's an extension. 1, 2, 3, 4. I would look for something probably down here to 368 on Monday. It's possible it bottomed here, right here as well for a short 5th wave. But I would say this is more likely down here to 368 and maybe even extend all the way down here to 367, which is a demand zone. If that happens, then that is either wave 1 or, again, that could also be expanded flat that could actually go all the way up to, which would be highly unlikely, but could go all the way up to 384. So keep that in mind that it's possible it could go higher, not likely. We're likely in wave 1 lower of wave 3. So that is QQQ. And then SPY kind of checks it off for me as far as this being the overall second wave. Although, again, it has a gap fill here at 448. So if this is 5 waves down, then it's possible it could go like this. Or it's possible, we'll leave this as a possibility that this could be that fills the gap one more time up here into supply. So zooming out here, it's just wave 1 of the overall 3rd wave down, most likely, but there's still a possibility we can come up here. Tesla, same kind of indecision here about where this could go. It could be it's more than likely a B wave, but if it's going to finish its move up here to 290 and potentially all the way up here to 296, then I would think it would go early on Monday because this should be bouncing. But if we come down here to 367, then I think Tesla is probably in a B wave. And so I'm looking at this like A, B, C down here. This does not look impulsive to me at all. And so this would end up being wave 1, wave 2, like that. Down here, there is a demand zone from way back that I'd be looking at, but I'd be looking around 262. And you can kind of look at wave 1. And it basically goes right there. So if these are the same like length, then this is going to end up coming down here to 262. That would be the overall fourth wave. And then if QQQ goes down to 367 and Tesla finishes 262, then when it finally bounces, Tesla can go all the way up here to 290. That's my current thoughts on it. But it is possible that we just get, if QQQ bounces on Monday, this could go straight up to 290 right away. Where are we at on the standard deviations? That one doesn't really show much. So yeah, either way, it could go to 290 now or come down here and then go to 290 later. So that doesn't really tell me much. So those are the possibilities on Tesla. Apple, I think it's still got to bounce up here to 181. So we'll see. That should be happening early next week, in my opinion. Yeah, this looks like a wave 1 to me. So Apple should be bouncing up here to 181. Microsoft. I think Microsoft was probably in an ending diagonal. That's my current thoughts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the only thing that makes sense. The other possibility is that this was A, B, and we're going to get a C wave up here. That would mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. But I'm leaning towards that being the top here at 340. It hit, I really don't care, honestly, but it hit the top of this, so 340 is possible right there as being the top. There is a gap up here at 344, though, so if this ends up being a expanded flat second wave, then you're going to get a big rip here. And go up here to 346, which is also the 1.61 fib of the W wave. So all of these pretty much have two possibilities right now. There's not anything that's super obvious, but I think this is probably the top. Because if you think about it, it's going to go all the way through this resistance right here. There is a gap up here, but it can fill it later. It dropped from 340 all the way down to 330, pretty much finished at the lows. And you have resistance right here. So if it makes a wave 2, I'd be looking for 335 to 336. And then starting to move down. So most likely top to Microsoft. We're looking for that move down here to 280, I think. And then NVIDIA. Here's another tricky one. Is this going to be the end of wave 2? So again, we have 1. Could be that. But with where the market's at and what I think the market's going to do, it's going to be very interesting. Is this going to bounce up here to 472 after it hits this demand zone? Because it's very close to hitting that demand zone. I would say it's more than likely we don't make a third wave here. And this probably is going to do something like this. And who knows, this could be done right here. This could have been the top at 500. So this could be wave A, and then maybe when the market makes a fifth wave, maybe this makes an expanded flat like that, goes up here, gets everybody bullish again, and then we get this big move down. So a lot of ways this can play out. All I know right now, though, is it is about to hit demand here at 435. So I would be looking for a bounce, but it could go to 420 for a bounce. And then that's going to be either wave 2 or wave A down. Amazon, I think it topped. So this is wave 3 right here. This is more than likely an expanded flat. Ignore the 1, 2, 3. This is more than likely ABC. And so you're looking for this down here to fill the gap. Potentially come all the way down here to 121. Probably come down here to this area. Google might have a bounce left in it. There's still this gap fill here at 141, but probably not that much upside. That would make it a ending diagonal. We'll see on that one. Let's see, Meta. Meta basically hit 314. That was my target. So I think it's pretty much done for the B wave. So again, looking for this. And this is probably wave 1 down. So we're going to be on Monday getting potentially a little bit more downside, or we're starting this bounce up already. Look for at least 374 if we bounce right away. Potentially up here to the gap fill. If we fall down here, then you're looking for a minimum of 373. The two possibilities, again, are a huge bounce. Would probably have something to do with the Fed saying something. But again, it's more than likely that this is the start of a huge move down. So don't expect big bounces in the market anymore over the next month or two. Look for this to be the start of a huge move down. And so we'll see what happens. That's pretty much it. Let's look at the VIX real quick. So 1380. No gaps, I don't think. No gaps on the VIX. That makes me even more bearish because if we fall back here, we get a big move up. We're probably going to get at least another move higher on that. So another reason to be bearish. And the dollar, it actually fell and then barely finished down. Let's see where we're at. And the dollar is just not letting up. Again, the next supply zone is at 110. So we'll see where that lands. Again, this is a C wave. I've gone over it before. And I'm still expecting down here, but we got to come up here and finish this first, probably over the next couple months. Where is it at on the standard deviations? So it can come up here to 110 on the daily and look fine, and then make its way down here to 93. On the weekly, I'm not going to be able to do it on that length. So if the weekly, if we come up here towards 109, 110, then coming down here to 93 would make it to the outside. Anyway, it doesn't really matter that much. Let's look at the moving averages, though. Curious. So we are above the 20, and are we above the 50? No, we're above the 50 and the 20. So it's getting more and more bullish. 20 hasn't crossed the 50 yet, though. But if you keep on coming up here a little bit farther, I would say the 20 is going to get closer and closer to hitting the 50. But I would imagine it does not cross the 50 when it's all said and done, and then we get a big move down. So that's pretty much it. Those are the possibilities for all the tech stocks, QQQ, SPY. Let me know what you think in the comments. And make sure you hit that subscribe button for more videos. And I'll catch you later. Actually, I want to take a look at IWM. So IWM, A wave here. I did a video maybe like 6 months ago, and I was expecting this to be the C wave down, but we might be getting it now. It's actually starting now. I was a little bit off on the timing, I think. But this is basically what I said. A, B, C. This would be B. So we got A, B, C. This is probably actually ended right here. A, B, C. But that's the overall B wave. So we have, no, it's not the overall B wave. Hold on for a second. The B wave is down here, yeah. So A right here, 5 waves up. A, B, C, B, and we're getting the C wave down. That would make the overall B wave. And then later, after we bottom here, we should get a big move higher like that. And that's how a long drawn out B wave would react, and then we would get this. So I expect this to come down here to the bottom of the channel. You can see how it hit the top of the channel, and I didn't even move that. I haven't looked at this stock in a long time. It basically hit the very top of the channel, and expect it to come down here to so you can see why all those growth stocks. I've done videos on SoFi, on PLTR, and I have them all falling off a cliff. And you can see why, because we have IWM about to fall off a cliff. So AB right here, let's just see. So yeah, I'm looking for 160. 160 normal flat. Timing wise, I would say it's probably going to end it's probably going to be pretty quick because we're already on wave 2. We started wave 3. It'll probably be pretty quick. I'm looking for like maybe November, maybe December, but you're looking at 160 here, down here, and then after that, we would just be looking for another move higher. Probably going to be looking at back up here to 200 again. So that is pretty much it. I'll put some timestamps on the video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Everything looks bearish to me. I'm bearish for the next couple of months. If you're playing a bounce, be careful because you're going against the trend. And that's all I got to say about this right now. I'll do a video this week. Have a good weekend. Talk to you soon.